welcome back to the Tea and a Buddy podcast. I'm Dominic.
And I'm Erica.
And today's episode, we're going to be talking about Asda's new sustainability store.
Yeah.
Or stores, because they've opened some more.
Yeah, if you guys
since.
follow us on social media, well, I don't know if we posted it anywhere besides Instagram, but if you follow us on Instagram, we posted this in our stories the other day, last week sometime.
Yeah.
I think after we saw it on like BBC or something like that.
It actually might have been TikTok.
Oh, actually, no, it wasn't. It was not. It was Asda themselves.
Asda themselves.
It. Yeah.
What a blatant self-promotion there.
It was a reel on Instagram that Asda did.
Oh, there we go. A reel.
And it
which
just
is basically the same as TikTok.
Oh, well, yeah.
TikTok.
And it popped up in our news feed.
Yeah.
And it was so cool that I just had to share it with our followers.
To share it with everyone around the world.
And it was so cool that we then decided that it needed its own podcast
episode. We needed to talk about it because growing up in the UK, over here too, you always saw like these like stores where you could buy stuff. You know, you could pick out how much you could get of, your own stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm equating this with, because this Asda store was...
It was never like a full store, though.
It was never a full store.
Well, okay, let's talk about what this is first, and then we'll kind of back up. And
yeah, it's
Asda, for those of you who don't know, is, or was, do we know?
I think
it is or was owned by Walmart.
It was owned by Walmart for like 20 years.
Yeah, and it was basically the same-ish type store.
I think Walmart are still on the board of directors or whatever. They still have a stake in it, but I think they sold most of it to someone else.
So you walk in Walmart, everything's kind of, all the signage is kind of blue. You walk in Asda, all the signage is kind of green. But
green and yellow, and they still have the rollback.
They still have all the rollback and the...
smart price.
Yeah, the price, like the
Value
price
brand,
tags under everything looks the same as at Walmart.
Yeah, and I mean, Asda was its own store for years, I think since the 70s.
Yeah.
Before Walmart took it over. Because I remember I started working there just after Walmart had taken over, and everybody was like, "Oh, is it going to be all American stuff now coming here?" And
no.
And it's like Asda, part of the Walmart family. That was their thing.
Yeah,
part of the Walmart family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I remember the guy who was taking me round on my first day working at this store.
That was like to appeal to British people who wanted like to.
I guess so.
More Americanized type feeling, or. I mean, I can't imagine that would have been a good, selling point. Oh, I'm part of the Walmart family.
Yeah, because, I mean, well, the store I was working in had been there for years before Walmart took it over. I can't remember when Walmart took it over. I think it was, early 2000s. 2001, maybe. Yeah. And so anyway, we were going around and he was just go, we're part of Walmart now. Part of Walmart, have to mention Walmart every 5 seconds as if and I think that's what they were planning to do, was introduce more stuff, and I mean they did, they changed it all up. I mean it was very green and very Walmart-y looking,
So it didn't look like that before.
It didn't look. It was all orange and
really?
It was kind of just like your regular old grocery store. I don't know. There must be a clip somewhere on YouTube of what Asda looked like before Walmart took it over.
But anyway, it's basically a very Walmart. Whether Walmart still owns it or not, who knows? But
yeah,
it's very similar to Walmart. It's like a British version of Walmart, basically.
Yeah.
It was surprising to see that they have this sustainable.
Yeah. Which is basically they decided, right, we're going to do away with plastic wrapping.
Mm-hmm.
If you come into the store for, cereal and stuff like that, you're going to have to get it yourself with your own containers and stuff like that, which is what you'd expect to find at a health food store.
Yeah, something really upmarket.
I remember used to going into those things and it was just, you'd get the little shovels and stuff and get into the cereal and stuff like that, and you'd just be kind of and it was expensive. It was organic.
Yeah.
And they charged because it was a smaller store.
Yeah.
But with supermarkets, everything was cheaper because it was wrapped in plastic and mass produced or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But
And I mean, they had the
Yeah.
same thing over here when I was a kid. Sections of grocery stores that had like barrels of nuts or
yeah, that kind of stuff.
or barrels
chocolate
of
peanuts. I remember.
Yes, it was always like chocolate covered candy.
candy. Yeah.
Like I remember big malted milk balls, like a
yeah,
container of malted milk balls, and sometimes they were in like a candy style machine, right? So you stuck your bag. Usually it was like a bag, and they had their own like plastic bags. Funnily enough, you would put it in a plastic bag. I don't really know. It wasn't like a sustainability type thing back then. I don't think. I think it was just for people who wanted to pay by the ounce or by the pound or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it was so focused on like, well, let's don't use all this plastic packaging, obviously, because the thing that you would get them in was a plastic bag, Yeah.
I mean, with this store, they opened it in 2020.
Oh, really?
In Middleton. That was their trial period, and it was all...
Where's Middleton now?
It's in Yorkshire.
Oh, okay.
So it's around Yorkshire, I think.
So sort of north England.
Yeah, because they opened the next ones in Leeds, and I think the biggest one they've ever opened was in York recently.
Oh, okay.
So they've already got like 3, and then they're rolling out these like refill stations to all their other stores in the UK.
It sort of makes sense,
but
when you think about there being things that are grown for it to be up in like Yorkshire, because there's a lot of farming up there, right? Even though I'm sure the stuff that is being sold in Asda has not actually come from Yorkshire.
No.
Yeah.
This stuff is like the same stuff you'd get at,
But it makes you feel like it did. It makes you feel like, oh, well, maybe this is like locally grown stuff,
locally grown produce and everything like that, yeah. I mean, it estimates the numerous initiatives being trialed in Middleton will save 1 million pieces of plastic per year, which is not... I mean, it's a lot, but it's not a lot in the terms of like how much plastic the earth uses.
It's a far cry from individually packaged tomatoes. You know what I mean? Like individually plastic wrapped tomatoes, which I think we mentioned like on the previous podcast for some reason. Or
everybody... Yeah, well, in the UK, you'd find a cucumber that was wrapped in shrink wrap.
Yes.
Saran wrap, whatever you call it over here.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Cling film is what we'd call it, but
it's saving a lot compared to, like, that, for instance.
Yeah. And it's also launched the greener at Asda price, which is... you'd think, oh, they're not wrapping stuff, so they're going to charge more for it now.
Yeah.
But they're not. Everything is the same price as it would be if it were wrapped. So, you've got stuff like pasta and rice.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their rice, Asda rice and Asda pasta. You can just go and refill your rice and basmati and jasmine and, long grain, short grain, whatever,
I wonder what, like... And I know this is, like, nitpicking. Like, this is a very good thing. This is a very good direction, I think, that we're headed in.
Well, yeah.
But I wonder what, like, the health-conscious people or the germ-conscious people out there think of it. You know what I mean? Like, because people are bringing their containers from their scummy homes. You know what I mean? Like, and they're, like, sticking them there, and you're having to touch things that have touched someone else's containers. And, like, I wonder how they account for all of that.
Because I think, that was how supermarkets got in the first place, was people saying, oh, well, you don't have to go to a butcher shop where somebody else might have touched that meat before you, or whatever. This is all individually wrapped, and people touching them and they can't get it, and all you have to do is take it out.
I think you mentioned before that possibly that was a reason the UK wrapped their produce.
It was health. It was like and it was like so people wouldn't be like
sneeze on it,
and it's like, well, you got to wash it before you cook it, but people don't.
Yeah,
people just take it out.
People
of the wrap.
Eat the grapes right there in the grocery store.
Yeah. I mean, with this kind of thing, it's like they weren't the first to introduce refill stations. Waitrose started trying them out, and M&S and Sainsbury's have been trying them, but Asda have like really launched it with like a full store of it.
Yeah, it's so It's so just like contrary to how I think of Asda, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
you would
because Asda's quite, Walmart-y.
Yeah, you would expect this from like
Waitrose. Well,
or even Sainsbury's, right? Like,
yeah,
or Morrison's,
or
maybe.
Lidl.
Lidl
and
I don't know. If
Lidl's
I would expect
apparently.
it from Lidl.
I think Lidl do it. Yeah. But like the Kellogg's and PG Tips and Quaker Oats and Taylors of Harrogate, they've all got on board with this for Asda, and they've also like made everything plastic. Just allow just fill up your Kellogg's cornflakes and Frosted Flakes or whatever there.
Yeah.
And Vimpto as well. There's a little Vimpto station, and of course you can do toiletries and cleaning products.
That's so cool.
So you can come in with a thing and just get your hand soap.
Yeah.
And your dishwashing soap and
shampoo
and bleach.
Get a big
or maybe not bleach.
I always think like you see in like the dollar stores or in like the travel section at somewhere like Target or something, they always have these little like shampoo bottles, like plastic shampoo bottles, and I always just think like, who needs that? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that's just like because at the end of the day, it's like that's stuff that can be reused.
Yeah. Yeah,
like, that's stuff that you're gonna put in. You reuse those bottles. We've got the same one up there.
This hand soap.
The hand soap, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just buy a refill thing, and it's just like, well, why can't we just go somewhere and just,
yeah, and not have to buy the big jug, big refill
jug. Yeah, because it's another thing of plastic, isn't it?
And so then I wonder though, how do they? I'm assuming it's charged by the ounce or by the
because then you can get as much as you want. I guess.
But how do they deduct like the weight of the container that you're putting it in?
I'm not sure how the economics
maybe you weigh
of it work.
Maybe you weigh it first. Maybe you put it on the thing before you start filling it up, so that it
say
knows
like I
how
wanted
much
to
it
go
weighs.
Get like Honey Nut Loops or rice or pasta.
Mm-hmm.
I get as much as I want in that container. I guess you'd bring like you could bring like a huge tub of it.
Yeah.
But I wonder because it's like, how are they accounting for all of it? Yeah. It's like if someone came in with like a, what do you call it? Like under the bed tub, like those one of those plastic things, and they're just like, I'm gonna fill this up with pasta, and I'm gonna fill it to the brim with pasta now, and they just completely, and someone's just standing there going, yeah, I wanted pen, and they're just like, yeah, I'm getting all the pen. The pen, eh?
Well, there you go. Because I was just thinking too, I can already hear people going, oh, they're putting more people out of jobs, but it's like somebody's got to refill those containers, somebody's got to be there going.
I can imagine someone with the pen just throwing it in because this guy wants all his pen.
Yeah, right. You have to have somebody standing there going, oh, the guy with the under the bed box is back. I better go get some more.
What do you call, a gallon box or whatever.
I better go get some more pen to put in the container or whatever, And also, you have to have somebody like watching the containers that are not maybe being purchased that often, because otherwise that stuff's been sitting there for months.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
You know what I mean? And it's gone stale because it's just sitting in a container for like a month.
Yeah, how they're going to like figure that out.
Yeah, they must have. They must have somebody who's. They must have thought up all the logistics.
Because you've got stuff there like drop and shop stuff and charities and stuff. Like they'll have like a recycling center where you can put your old clothes and your old plastic and whatever electronics.
Yeah.
Into things, so they're trying to make it all sustainable. Everything gets recycled.
What would be even better is you get some sort of discount if you bring in stuff to recycle.
They used to be able to do that at places. You used to be able to do that with glass.
At H&M, for instance, like people hate H&M because it's fast fashion and it's, ruining the environment because they're using cheap materials and they're constantly putting out new stuff all the time to keep people wanting to shop, when there's already so many clothes like in landfills and whatever. But at H&M, you can bring in any clothes for recycling. They have their own like sustainability line at the store, I think. Yeah. And you can bring in any clothes no matter what condition they're in for recycling, and you get like you get some money off of your next purchase.
Yeah,
then,
I think
they should do that.
They may be doing that. I don't know. It's not really saying here. They just talk about a first reverse vending machine for cans, plastic and glass drinks bottles and hanger recycling facility that will be rolled out across all stores.
I mean, always, like at most grocery stores, if you bring in a glass bottle, you bring in your glass bottles from, like, if you've had juice or milk that's come in a glass bottle or whatever, you bring it in and you get, like, some money off of your purchase.
Yeah, I think
or you get some money back for recycling them.
I'm imagining they're going to do that.
Yeah,
they're going to give some incentive because people are like, oh, can't be bothered. Can't be bothered doing all that.
Yeah,
haven't got a container for my drink.
Can you remember how many people complained about having to bring in their bags when Austin went plastic bagless? Oh. Can you imagine? Like, oh, now we've got to bring in containers.
Well, the thing is, that's the thing, because I don't know, the UK has always been, slightly better at doing that, like adopting stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like when, like, they wanted to reduce plastic use in all these things, they were like, okay, we're going to start charging for plastic bags now.
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, I'm not paying 15p for a plastic bag. Give me a bag for life for a quid.
Yes, and it always cracks me up the way you guys call
bag
them
for life.
Bags for life.
And it's like Asda bag for life or a Tesco bag for life, and it's like a hemp material, and we had like several of them.
They're quite strong.
They're quite strong. They can hold quite a lot. So that's what we take to and that's what that's what we used to take to the old bag for life.
Yeah,
that's what they called them. Bag for life. But no, it's a lot of and I like that they're keeping the price the same, because they could easily go, oh well, it's going to be a bit more.
Yeah,
and it's like, why?
Yeah,
why is it a bit more?
I mean, any like high-end grocery store you go in that already has this feature, like in a section of the store, you always pay more for it, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like, I don't know. I can't even think of, like, it's a luxury to not have to have a take home extra plastic that I don't know. It makes
That's one
no
thing
sense.
I was looking at this removal of the outer plastic wrapping on several popular, like, Heinz and Asda brand can multi-packs, including beans and soups. There's not really multi-packs of beans and soups over here, is there?
What do you mean?
Like, there'll be like
get a 4-pack,
like a 4-pack or a 6-pack.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen them. I think
that you can get those.
I thought they were all just individual cans. Which
I mean, we just don't really buy that much canned food.
I can't imagine. Oh, the outer plastic wrapping. So what? They're just gonna have them in those, like, what are those things that the turtles keep getting caught in?
Oh yeah.
They probably won't have that.
No.
It'll be
not at a place like this, I wouldn't think.
It'll probably be in something.
Yeah.
I imagine to make it look like, oh, it's a multi-pack.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'm assuming
because the multi-packs, you think, well, why not just buy 5 tins of beans, and that's it, you know. But I think the multi-packs they've knocked a couple of quid off of them.
Or like, why not just buy like, why couldn't they just put beans in a container of some kind also,
No, I'm baked beans I'm talking about now.
I know, but
I mean, they could, it
would be a mess. Yeah,
it would be a mess, and it would be like, because then you'd be thinking, well, why don't we just do that with curry and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, why don't they? I mean, I think
it's like it's gonna clog up the machines and stuff.
Well, no, I don't mean they would have to be in like a machine, like a candy dispenser type machine, but they could have them in, like, I mean, even though I hate the thought of it, and it's probably why they don't.
No, that's going to be health and safety issues right there, because people will be like, the health and safety will be like, you know what, this is not
basically
good.
This is all just what do you call it? Shelf stable stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Not
shelf
like...
stable, not like stuff that needs to be in a glass. Well, I mean, they're in glass. Like the curry. Curry sauces and stuff. They're all in glass, so that can be recycled. That's already, that's fine.
I suppose so. Yeah.
And I mean, it's been pre-packaged and it's like inspected and stuff, instead of just sitting out in like a huge vat for someone to just go in and go, oh yeah, I got my glass of curry sauce, my mason jar full of curry sauce.
Yeah, that would not be very.
That would not be good.
I mean, I would not like
with
that.
stuff like Radox and stuff like that, it's like that's soap, know, and shampoo and stuff,
Yeah.
Rice and pasta, I don't understand why they haven't done that before. Because rice and pasta, there's so much of it.
I mean, yeah.
Tea bags too, and cereals,
Yeah, yep. I mean, it's just such a great idea, and I really don't know why it hasn't been thought of before.
Don't know, because Vimpto and stuff like that. Well, vending machine, freestyle soda machines, they've been a thing forever.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't understand why that hasn't happened in, like, Asda.
Vimto is not a soda, is it, or is it?
It can be sparkling.
Oh, okay.
But it's a squash refill.
Yeah, I was going to say sodas wouldn't be good because you couldn't, like, fill up a whole... Well, I don't know. Well, how would that work? Surely there's some way that you could even fill up, like, a big soda bottle and they could just, like, compress it and so that the fizz stays in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. You could just stick it under a thing and it goes like that.
Well,
Because,
we're looking at the corporate Asda website where this is coming from, and the Metro article as well, and they're showing a picture of it, and the rice, it looks like, it's just, you just put in your container and it just goes however much you want.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like, I imagine they have to keep refilling that all the time. Oh, and it's like a pound, whatever.
And then how do you check out? I wonder, like.
Well, I guess you weigh it. And it goes doo-doo.
It prints out a thing?
I guess.
Because that's waste again, isn't it? You're printing out your...
Well, no, or you weigh it, or they have, like, tills, or you weigh it, and they just go, okay, pay now,
Yeah.
You don't have to print out anything,
I looked up, because I was like, surely this kind of thing exists over here. I haven't heard...
Oh, yeah.
I haven't heard of it, but... we hadn't heard of the Asda either, and it came out in 2020, so... So I did a quick Google. I found this website called litterless.com.
Litterless.
And it's a state-by-state zero waste grocery guide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you go into it and then you just pick your state that you live in. And it'll tell you all the grocery stores that have, like, that do, like, zero waste or whatever. Yeah. So, I've clicked in Texas and I've gone, and the first city is Austin.
Yeah.
And the first grocery store is Central Market.
Yeah. Central Market have...
Okay, so on this list, it's not just grocery stores like this sustainable Asda. It's like any grocery store that has a section that's like zero waste, which I think is helpful.
And I think they're doing that with like Asda. It's like they're rolling this out. They'll have refill stations in every store, which will be like a section, and then the rest of the store will be the same old prepackaged stuff,
Yeah.
But there's specific stores like in Middleton and York and Leeds that are all sustainable. There's no plastic or anything like that,
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's so cool. And I definitely would like to go in one of those stores and just see what it's like, and
Well, when we go to York, maybe you can take a trip to the sustainable Asda.
Yeah. So at Central Market, we were kind of just there like a couple months ago or something, right? We don't shop at Central Market because it's nowhere near where we live, so we don't usually go there. But every once in a while, it's fun. It's a fun grocery store to just go and like wander around and see what they have. I don't know. We're weird. But I vaguely...
If you can hear that tinkling, it's Erica's earrings.
Oh my God.
You can hear the tinkling. Yeah, because I was thinking, what is that tinkling?
Every time I turn my head.
Every time you turn your little head, it's like... Oh
my God.
It's Erica's earrings. She's got some tinkly earrings.
Apologies about that. Anyway, I vaguely remember seeing this our last time in Central Market, that they had these containers, and maybe even for shampoo and soap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You can get bulk grains, beans, and these are going to be dry beans, of course, not like containers of Bush's baked beans.
Yeah, because I was thinking these are multi-vat. Why can't they just put them in the thing? I was like, oh no, I can imagine that going awry.
Oh,
people
God.
Just like, it's kids coming in and knocking it, and just all of beans coming out, and some poor guy
even dry beans though. You can imagine kids doing that.
Oh well, that's probably even worse than and liquid
Oh,
baked
yeah.
beans, you know, and tomato sauce.
Bulk grains, beans, baking supplies, which I don't know what. Like flour, sugar.
Flour and sugar.
Yeah. Baking soda, baking powder. I mean, you could put all of those in containers.
Imagine you do that, you know, you just make a little cake.
And
in the store,
you just go in and get hey, but there you go. I mean,
that's a thing. You could set up a little stall and say, "Help me make a cake." You know,
well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? Like,
make a nice Victoria sponge.
Like, let's say you don't normally eat flour, you don't normally need like baking supplies, but for whatever reason, like it's your husband's birthday and you're going to bake him a cake.
You're going to bake him a cake.
If you go to the store, you're going to have to buy an entire thing of sugar, an entire package of flour, an entire package
and you can...
And you don't need all the rest of that.
You can figure out how much you need.
Yeah.
You can bring in a thing.
You can go in and get just
containers
exactly...
with like measurements.
Oh my God, we're getting excited now.
You can just go in with... I mean, it's like what you need. It's like what I was talking about in the beginning of the episode. When you go into this health food store, you just, I just need a pound of this and a pound of that.
Yeah. Or like, let's say people who don't normally eat carbs, right? They don't eat pasta normally. But they're really craving it. They just want to have it for one night. They're not going to have it the rest of the months of the year.
Sauce. I'm going to have a pasta bake.
They're not going to have it the rest of the year, right?
It's my one night of pasta.
Yeah. So like, let's just go in.
That's a very sad night.
So let's just go in and just get the amount of pasta that we need for this one meal, and then we're not going to have pasta left over in our...
Ever again.
Well, we're not going to have it left over in our pantry, are we? You know, that we're never going to use, and it's going to end up having to be thrown out or whatever. Yeah, I didn't think about it like that. You can get nuts, seeds, trail mix, snacks, dried fruits, candies, herbs, spices, teas, coffees, and more. Here we go. A reader notes that this location does not have the ability to deduct the tar at the register, so be sure to use a lightweight container. So there you go. They're going to charge for the weight of the container. So if you bring in a heavy
box.
Like
a steel, like a lead lined. No, a cast iron pan. That's what you need to bring in. My cast iron pan. Yeah. It's like, I put one bit of pasta in there and I put it on the pan. It's like $15.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's not good. I don't want
no, that's how they get in their money. Yeah, though, isn't it? It's just like someone with the thumb on the scale, you know.
Yeah.
There's a guy over there just standing there with the thumb on his scale. It's like, you've only bought a little bit of pasta. Let's see how much we can get out of you for that.
So HEB also has a bulk section.
Yeah.
That includes many spices and dry goods. They always have.
Yeah.
Coffee, candy.
Coffee, tea. Well, tea bags as well, you know.
Yeah. They always have. As far as I can remember, they've always had, like, when you walk in, you know, I'm thinking of the particular store that we go to. Right, the very first thing to your left. Yeah. The whole aisle is like, get yourself your coffee and
get your own coffee.
Your chocolate malt balls and
yeah.
This one is called Lux Refill, and it, to me, just by the name, sounds like it's going to be like a sustainable Asda, but I'm sure it's going to be like a tiny little, like, farm to market or like boutique kind of store.
Yes,
you know?
Yes.
They've got bulk shampoos, conditioners, soaps, zero waste cosmetics, which is interesting because I don't know how are you gonna have cosmetics? Like, is a whole vat of like liquid foundation?
Maybe. You don't know.
I don't know.
It's like lipstick and it just comes out like a thing and you can cut it off and then put it in your own thing. And...
You just squeeze it into your own lipstick tube.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Oh my God. There's also a place called Trashless. Trashless delivers common household products directly to local consumers in reusable containers.
Yeah.
Picking up the empty containers and delivering refills. Items include grains, flours, baking supplies, beans, nuts, seeds, all the same stuff. Snacks, herbs, spices, coffee, tea, cold brew, ketchup, oils, honey, smoothie kits, eggs. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. soap, and more. And then there's Wheatsville Co-ops. They don't have Sprouts on here. Sprouts has those big barrels. Sprouts is like
we haven't been to Sprouts in a while.
Like a sort of like a farmer's kind of grocery store, right?
Yeah.
And they have these big barrels that are full of granola and nuts.
Granola.
And I think rice also, and pastas and chocolates.
Chocolates and...
Yeah. And you just reach in with your scoop and fill up, I don't know, I think a plastic bag. Possibly,
a plastic bag or a plastic container.
Possibly, I seem to think they might have like a popcorn style, like a paper bag.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
you put them in.
The veg Asda and their sustainability will be unwrapped for the first time, unwrapped. And you can get some within a paper bag,
Oh, yeah.
The paper wrapping.
Yeah. It'll be unwrapped. Like, you can buy one single tomato if you don't need a package of 4 of them, So then some other stores on the list are, let's see. Oh, here's Sprouts. Sprouts in Dallas.
Yeah.
Bulk grains, beans, legumes, seeds.
Legumes.
Dried fruit, pretzels, herb spices, teas, nut butters. Oh, yes. I've seen
butters.
That. I think, must have been at Sprouts that I've seen that. They have big things of like, almond butter and
yes
peanut butter and
that thing. I don't know how they do that.
I can't remember
because I don't think it's just like a dispenser kind of thing, is it?
No, I can't remember. I have looked at it before because they do put them in. Oh, I don't know about at Sprouts, but I think it's at HEB. I've seen that they have like the plastic kind of containers, like what you get salsa in, with the plastic with the clear plastic lid, which kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
but I mean, you could bring in your own container, I suppose.
Well,
so if you have a jar, you can fill it up with your almond butter, whatever. Yeah, so there's a whole, I mean, this is just the Texas stores, and they seem mostly to be the big cities. In Houston, there's the Conscious Consumer, which has bulk household cleaning and personal care supplies like dish soap, laundry supplies, all-purpose cleaners, shampoo. Yeah, they don't say toothpaste and mouthwash, but why wouldn't they?
Toothpaste and mouthwash.
Yeah, surely they would have mouthwash
good
on
oral
there.
health.
That would be an easy thing to...
to
dispense.
Yeah.
In Houston, they also have Houston Dairy Maids, Urban Eats, and Wheat Olive. And then
Olives, that's another thing.
In San Antonio,
like
they
a
have
salad bar.
They have
that
the. Yeah,
we saw that.
Yeah, they've got all of that kind of stuff in Central Market. Like, you can bring your own container in.
Yeah.
But again, that's sort of a health kind of thing. I mean, I personally don't like those kind of bars like that.
Salmonella and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and also little kids can just stick their grubby hands into and everything.
I can imagine a kid doing that.
Yeah.
Right, just like, just getting
Oh,
cereal.
no, but I'm talking about at like the, like at Central Market, they have those containers. It's kind of like a buffet style.
Pick and mix type
and you can
things,
get like pickled onions and you can
right.
And you can get olives and you can get like different things like that go on salads or like in, San Antonio has a place called the Re-Up Station that offers grains, flours, nuts, seeds, pasta, chia seeds, nutritional yeast, and more. Waco has Waco's Farmers Market, which includes locally made package-free soaps and shampoos. And these are just places in Texas, and there's other cities that I haven't mentioned as well. So you could just go on that litterlist.com and put in your state and kind of just look by city and, if you live in a city that has more than one place, then I guess you just kind of drive around to each place to get whatever you need.
Like
if
a
it
little
doesn't,
town.
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't have it, if it doesn't have whatever it is you need, and you get your containers and
you get your plastic containers.
You're
You're under the bed boxes.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm waiting for. Someone to come in with a big, huge box under their arm and fill it up with rice and pasta.
I mean, people must.
And it must cost them a fortune to buy that in bulk,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why. Why would you do that, though?
I mean, why would you? Yeah.
I mean, maybe, I guess, if we're talking about Britain again, and you don't live, let's say you live in Cornwall.
Yeah.
And you just want to go up to the sustainable Asda. You want to use all that fuel to drive up to the sustainable Asda. And, and get everything that you need for the year. Bring several under
all
the
bed
pasta
boxes.
and rice.
All the pasta and
rice
and
cereal. And then you don't have
cereal.
to go back up there until the same time next year,
I mean, under the bed boxes or whatever. I don't know what. Yeah, it's like those huge gallon-sized, not even gallon, like 5 gallon, I guess.
Yeah.
Thinking about people doing that, and just people getting wound up because they've taken all the pasta, they've taken all the rice.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be employees, so there's got to be somebody.
There's a limit on that. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, there's got to be somebody.
Just one container
to complain to. You know. I just wonder, how does this stuff come to the stores? You know what I mean?
I am presuming in packaging.
I'm
presuming in packaging, and then they have employees rip it open and pour it in.
Oh no! Surely not. No, surely they must.
And then they recycle it all in their recycling center.
Oh no! Surely they come in in bulk containers. Yeah, and they just
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it.
I'm quite happy to see on that list though name brands.
Kellogg's,
like the name brands getting
Taylor's
in on
of Harrogate, Yorkshire Tea.
Instead of going, oh no, we need them to have our branding. You know, we need them to take home our brand name
because it'd be like Kellogg's Frosted Flakes and
I know, but
Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes.
These companies want these people to take the brand home and have it in their house so that they're brainwashed. They see it every day when they pull it out to get their cereal. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's to me. It's if I like Kellogg's Crunchy Nut Cornflakes, I'm gonna go back and get some. I'm not. What was that? What was that stuff I had for breakfast the other day? Kellogg's something. It was Crunchy Nut Cornflakes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it was that. That's what I got.
Yeah.
And it's at the store.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't matter if I don't have the branding on it.
But now everybody is houses can look very Pinteresty and TikTokable, because they can have all the little containers that you can see into, and you can see the rice, and you can see the pasta, and you can see the cereal, and you open up your cabinet, and everything's all organized, and
you can see all the Oreos
and beautiful. You can see you can see your jar of Oreos and your jar of your animal crackers. You know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Anyway, let us know if you guys have sustainable grocery stores of any kind, around where you live. Even if it's just a little
refill stations, even.
I'm thinking surely in New York City and
the
Chicago,
big cities, Chicago,
and some of these really big cities. There must be little local places that people have had forever. And we can take our containers in and we can. We just saw something not that long ago that was oh no, it wasn't. It was refillable wine. You took your wine container in and you could buy a big thing. I think it was somewhere in Italy though.
Oh yes.
I can't remember.
It was you could bring your bottle in.
I think it was I think it was something we saw on YouTube, and it's just yes, we need that.
Wine.
We need that.
I mean, that's been going on for years in Italy. That has
probably.
They got it on tap there, haven't they? The water.
You just stick your head under it. You don't even need a bottle.
No, there is actually water. You can buy it. You can get it. You can't buy it, but you can refill it at the We did it.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but you can do it with wine.
That was
too.
the Roman plumbing.
It was the Roman plumbing, yeah, from the springs.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much, as always,
Yes.
for tuning in. We really appreciate your support. Be sure to check us out on social media. We are at TButty, TEABUTTY, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we'll talk to you next time.
Talk to you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.